Hi, Dr. J. This is Jeanette Watson. I'm one of the students enrolled in the class, and I'm making a video to answer the question that you had sent to us, to sort of ease our way into the class and having a discussion. And talking about the first question, what is intersectionality, to define and describe? And my interpretation of what intersectionality is a connection that integrates certain categories such as race, gender, and class, and how that is applied to one specific individual or a specific group. Um, Your other question is, how is the concept of intersectionality important to the lived experience of people you might work alongside or within your future career? In my future career, I would like to work with the Latino community. I'm actually working with the Latino community right now. And so, just looking at that, there's some intersectionality that occurs. If it makes me think of the TED Talk that we had to see, which was very interesting. The presenter talked about the woman who wanted to have a class action lawsuit based upon not being hired because she was an African American woman. And so, working with the population right now, I work with Latin women. And so they would fit that intersectionality because they have a specific gender and a specific race, and those intersect. And especially in the time that we are in right now, those pose a lot of difficulties. I think just being Latino, period, but on top of also then being a Latin woman, and there being certain cultural expectations, and even I would like to say like cultural limitations as to what this specific category of a person can do, is something that definitely has an impact. And so I think it's important to be mindful and aware of how those intersections, what that dynamic looks like for certain cultures and groups. Um, as far as with my future career, I think intersectionality also has an effect on myself. I think in the past, up until very recently, I looked at myself as having being like at a triple disadvantage. And what I mean by a triple disadvantage is meaning that, I am female, I am African American, and I am Hispanic as well. So looking at intersectionality, I have it coming in different directions. And like I said, up until very recently, I really saw that as something that would cause me significant distress, just because I would not be seen as good enough in the professional field because I am a woman of color. And now looking at it specifically because I share two races that are not a dominant race, and then adding the fact that I'm female along with that. And the other questions is, how can what you have learned about intersectionality make you a better advocate or practitioner in your future career? I think for myself, what I have learned of intersectionality, I think as far as being an advocate, it would be important for me to really look at how intersectionality impacts my clients individually, and also making sure that while I'm doing the work in therapy, that somehow I am also impacting my clients in a way that makes them feel empowered. The hope would be that being a clinician that is female, that is both African American and Latina, that I would just that alone would stand for itself and be seen as an empowerment to my clients who look like me, because then the thought would be like, okay, like this person is able to do this, so I can do it too. Um, and as far as like if I were to be like a supervisor, I think it would be really important to make sure that the people who I'm supervising really understand what intersectionality is and have open dialogue and discussions with my supervisees about what they know about intersectionality, what their thoughts are about that, and maybe any preconceived notion or biases that they might have when it comes to working with clients who fit the category of intersectionality, and also providing a lot of training for how to work with these specific populations, and how to make sure that we are meeting their needs on those aspects, especially, if we're working, for example, with the female population. Right now, the site that I'm at, predominantly everyone's caseload is women, and about 90% are Latina, low socioeconomic status, and making sure how these clients are impacted in the various ways. So, how they're impacted based on their socioeconomic status, how they're impacted based on being female, and how being female also impacts them by being Latin as well. And so that would be my goal as I move forward in my career, as far as advocating is, empowering and providing like a training, or also making sure that my colleagues are aware of how intersectionality can really impact the people that we serve. That's all I have for you. Interested to learn more from you this quarter. Also, from seeing your YouTube video, I'm all in for moving the class earlier. That would work for me good as well. And I also want to let you know, on a personal level, I just had a baby several months ago, which is something that no one knows. Actually, none of my colleagues know. So that's something I kept to myself. So I just want to let you know that at times, when we are in class in the Zoom, that if my video goes out, it's either because I'm feeding the baby or changing a diaper or something, but I'm still actively listening. So I just wanted to let you know, in case sometimes you see my video out and you just see my name up there. I'm still in the class. I'm just either feeding, changing, or trying to put my baby to sleep. But certainly, if you have any questions or anything about that, I'd be more than happy to further discuss that with you offline. Yeah. So, thank you, and I look forward to getting to know more of you and learning from you in this class this quarter. And thanks for taking us on. We appreciate it. Thanks.